going on, everybody? Joseph Kadri here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Worldwide Sport Updates. Your host, Joseph Hadid here. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022. Hopefully, again, everybody had a great long week that just transpired this past week and having a great weekend so far and enjoying the most of your Sunday nonetheless. We're going to go over some top news that transpired this past week, and we're going to start off with, ladies and gentlemen, none other than some baseball news for you, as the Atlanta Braves have signed rookie Michael Harris II to a 8-year, $72 million contract extension. The extension kicks in next season and covers what would have been 2 pre-arbitration years, 4 years of arbitration as a Super 2, and 2 free agent years with club options for 2 more. The contract can max out at $102 million across 10 years. Now, here's the breakdown of the salary structure. 2023, ladies and gentlemen, $5 million. 2024, $5 million. 2025, $8 million. 2026, $8 million. 2027, $9 million. 2028, $10 million. 2029, $10 million. 2030, $12 million. 2031, $15 million club option with a $5 million buyout. And by the year 2032, $20 million club option with also a $5 million buyout. Atlanta has aggressively locked up its core position players to long-term, team-friendly contracts that guarantee the player a life-changing sum of money. So, Michael Harris ain't going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, NBA news to go over with you here and share. LeBron James, yes, agrees to a history-making $97.1 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James has agreed to that 2-year, again worth $97.1 million, with a 3rd-year player option that will most likely keep the Lakers star in Los Angeles for as long as he chooses. ESPN was first to report the deal, citing Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, who represents James. The extension will make the 37-year-old James the highest earning player in NBA history, with $532 million in guaranteed earnings over the course of his career, eclipsing Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant. The deal puts to the rest concerns that James, a 4-time NBA champion and 18-time All-Star, entering the final year of his contract worth $44.5 million, would test the free agency waters next summer. And ladies and gentlemen, if he does test free agency next summer, what's gonna happen with that? You know, I mean, will he decide to play with his son? If his son makes it to the NBA after a 1-year hiatus in college basketball, yet to be determined, but something to look forward to. But also, ladies and gentlemen, out of the Los Angeles organization, buzzing conversation going around that they're still looking to pursue Kyrie Irving. So, I don't know. I mean, a lot doesn't make sense in LA, but we'll see how things unfold nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, Los Angeles Chargers have given Derwin James a record contract, 4 years, for $76.5 million. Yes, folks, you heard that correctly. Again, James signed a 4-year, $76.5 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Chargers Wednesday morning, making him the NFL's highest paid safety. That deal includes $42 million in guaranteed salary. James is going into his 5th season and was expected on the field when the Chargers began 2 days of joint practices with the Dallas Cowboys. He did not participate in the first 2 weeks of practice and took part only in walkthroughs as the two sides worked on an extension. Out of baseball news, ladies and gentlemen, former Yankees and Mets reliever Dellin Betances has retired after 10 Major League Baseball seasons. Veteran reliever Dellin Betances, who has pitched for both the New York Yankees and New York Mets, retired from Major League Baseball after 10 seasons. Betances last appeared in the majors in 2021 for the Mets, pitching just 1 inning before a right shoulder impingement that caused him to go on the injured list and eventually lead to a season-ending surgery. His last full season came in 2020 when he struggled across 15 appearances with a 7.71 ERA and 11 strikeouts in 11.2 innings pitched. News out of the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, Deshaun Watson's NFL suspension again has been, ladies and gentlemen, yes, up to the ante a little bit here. Now he has to serve 11 games, and that will cost him $5.69 million. Again, there have been plenty of focus on the suspension portion of the punishment handed down to Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson on Thursday, but the $5 million fine that goes with Watson's negotiated 11-game suspension is noteworthy for a couple of reasons. Watson, who was accused by more than 24 women of sexual misconduct during the massage sessions, is believed to be the first player fined under the NFL's personal conduct policy. In previous cases, the league determined a suspension without pay was inadequate. A player making $18 million per year for an 18-week, 17-game season who was suspended for 9 games would lose $9 million in such a scenario. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Big Ten here out of some college news here. The Big Ten signs a 7-year, $7.5 billion deal with CBS, NBC, and Fox. To the world of college sports, with the Big Ten striking an approximately $7.5 billion deal for a 7-year contract with Fox, CBS, and NBC, that's a record deal for college sports, ladies and gentlemen. It's the biggest deal we've ever seen in terms of media rights. And if we take a look at how this is going to get broken down here, when we look at Fox, CBS, and NBC, so Fox is it's going to have the noon game. CBS is going to have a 3:30 game. And NBC will have the night games. I think that's how it's breaking down. Or how it's going to be broken down. Pretty much. But congratulations to the Big Ten, nonetheless. Alright, Lakers, ladies and gentlemen, have announced that they will be retiring Paul Gasol's number 16 jersey versus the Grizzlies on March 7th. In March, another number will rise to the rafters in Los Angeles at the Crypto Arena as the Lakers retire Pau Gasol's number 16. The two-time NBA champion, who won both of those titles in LA, played 18 seasons in the league. 6.5 with the Lakers. He earned 3 of his All-NBA nods, 4 total, and 3 All-Star honors. 6 total during his time in LA, providing a crucial complement to Kobe Bryant on the back-to-back championship teams of 2009-2010 season. They made the finals in 2008 as well, losing to the Boston Celtics in 6 games. And ladies and gentlemen, what a night that's going to be for Paul Gasol on March 7th versus the Grizzlies, as he'll be retired next to Kobe Bryant. And it's always been said Kobe Bryant, ladies and gentlemen, when he was with us a couple years back, he always said that Paul Gasol will be right next to me when he decides to hang up his, shoes and his jersey to be retired next to me. And that wish will be coming true for Paul Gasol again on March 7th, 2023. Something to look forward to. And it's going to be nothing but an emotional night for Paul Gasol. Nazem Kadri, ladies and gentlemen, to sign with the Calgary Flames out of the NHL hockey news here, who are not the Islanders. And a fantastic bit of maneuvering that came out of left field NHL media-wise. The highly sought unrestricted free agent Nazem Kadri is reported to be headed to the Calgary Flames on a 7-year deal. Regardless, what a summer for the Flames, who had to deal with 1-2 punch of both Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk, taking exit Rams from the franchise. Backed into a considerable corner, they replaced them with Jonathan Huberdeau and Kadri, while adding a pretty good defenseman in Mackenzie Weegar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at some news here that you probably don't want to hear out of the Premier League rights. But we need to talk about Premier League, as they have pretty much made something that's worth $1.5 billion on a deal. So Paramount, ladies and gentlemen, has beaten Amazon with $1.5 billion deal for Champions League rights. So Paramount Global renewed its US media rights to the Champions League football matches in a deal valued at more than $1.5 billion over 6 years, more than doubling the size of its previous contract and a size of the sport's growing popularity with Americans. The owner of the CBS network and Paramount Plus streaming service will air the annual tournament featuring Europe's top football teams under a new agreement that runs from 2024 all the way to the year 2030. Paramount, ladies and gentlemen, will pay about $250 million per year, up from about $100 million a year under the prior deal, according to people familiar with that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, what a tragic loss from the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, as Dawson Knox's brother, Luke Knox, Florida international football player and younger brother of the Buffalo Bills, Dawson Knox again as we speak, died at the age of 22. Florida international football player Luke Knox has died at the age of 22. The school announced on Thursday. Knox, a native of Brentwood, Tennessee, and the younger brother of Buffalo Bills tight end Dawson Knox, spent the past 4 seasons at Ole Miss before transferring to FIU. Knox, who studied business, died Wednesday evening, school officials said. The cause was not revealed, though the university said the police did not suspect any foul play. Rest in peace to Luke Knox. And I believe yesterday, as the the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills were playing a preseason game, on that Saturday afternoon, the Buffalo Bills did honor Luke Knox, which was pretty amazing. Rest in peace again, Luke Knox. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA has tweaked some rules for targeting and fake injuries ahead of the 2022 college football season. So here are some points here to share with you on exactly how this came about. The Associated Press shared the changes. Players ejected in the second halves of games for targeting might not be suspended for the first half of the next game, depending on the results of an appeal. Schools and conferences can report the potential faking of injuries to the national coordinator of officials, which could lead to penalties for the school involved. Only linemen and stationary backs inside the tackle box can block below the waist. Ball carriers who simulate a feet-first slide like then the Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett famously did in the ACC championship game, will be ruled down at the spot. Defensive holding is an automatic first down in addition to the 10-yard penalty. Replay officials can adjust the clock if a ruling is overturned with less than 2 minutes remaining in the game or first half. Illegal touching by an eligible player is a loss of down, in addition to the 5-yard penalty. So that's how those NCAA this season have tweaked those rules in targeting and fake injuries, again ahead of the 2022 college football season, which I believe is 2 weeks away. Can you believe it, folks? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this week. And again, on Sunday, August 21st, 2022, I'll see you next Sunday's podcast. I believe next Sunday's podcast is our last podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, if anybody's not aware, we have come to an agreement and have made an announcement. If you have not been following our Facebook group page, and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to an approach on what's going to happen now as the month of September approaches. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, again, we have one more recorded podcast next week. I believe so, which is, it will be on Sunday, August 28th. That will be our last recorded podcast. But then, ladies and gentlemen, here are the changes moving forward as we close out the month of August and officially open and welcome the month of September. Ladies and gentlemen, our first recorded podcast and moving forward will be now moved to Friday starting September 2nd, 2022. And our live podcast, ladies and gentlemen, will return to the customers, to the sports fans across the country and across the world, starting on Sunday, September 4th, 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that is 1 week before the official NFL regular season kicks off on Thursday, September 8th, when it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. So we are definitely going to be talking about that on Sunday, September 4th, 2022. We're going to cover college football. We're going to talk UFC boxing. We're going to talk Major League Baseball, NBA season that's coming up as the preseason gets underway, WNBA playoffs. Lots to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, on our first live podcast, which will be making its debut for the 2022-2023 season, starting on September 4, 2022. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until then, enjoy the rest of your work week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We have one more recorded podcast on Sunday, August 28th, ladies and gentlemen, before we open up the month of September, which our recorded podcast will be moved to Friday, and our live podcast will make its debut again on Sunday, September 4th, 2022. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until then, enjoy again the rest of your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your work week. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow, share it out, and subscribe to Worldwide Sport Updates on our YouTube channel. And also, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere to get the latest sports updates wherever you may be across the world or country nonetheless. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joseph Hadi for Worldwide Sport Updates, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care. God bless. See you then.